Our title, The Midnight Caller. Start with a low, eerie background sound, like distant wind or a faint, repetitive ticking. The narrator begins speaking in a calm, low voice, with long pauses to let each sentence sink in. Narrator. It all started with a phone call. I still remember that night like it was yesterday. I just moved into my new apartment, small, quiet, and tucked away at the edge of town. It seemed perfect. Too perfect, maybe. It was around midnight, and I was drifting off when my phone buzzed on my nightstand. Soft buzzing sound. I remember blinking, groggy, as I checked the caller ID. Unknown number. I ignored it, but then it rang again. A slightly louder buzzing sound. The same number. Reluctantly, I picked it up. "Hello?" I whispered, feeling an odd sense of dread. Pause, silence, followed by a faint, eerie breathing sound. At first, there was nothing, just silence. Then, I heard it. Breathing. Heavy, labored breathing, like someone gasping for air. I waited, but they didn't say a word. Then, just as I was about to hang up, pause, the line went dead. Click sound. Silence for a beat, then faint ticking or clock sound resumes. Background sound fades slightly as the narrator continues, voice filled with unease. Narrator. The next night, it happened again. Same time, same unknown number. I answered, heart pounding, hoping for some kind of explanation. But there was only that awful, heavy breathing. Every night at midnight, the calls came. Just breathing. I told myself it was a prank, but it felt like something more, something watching, waiting. As the narrator's voice grows more anxious, add a low rising sound, like distant thunder or a slow pulsing heartbeat. Narrator. I tried ignoring the calls, but each time, they went on longer. It got so I couldn't sleep. I was exhausted, jumpy, starting to see shadows in every corner. Then one night, I decided to wait up for it. Midnight came, and my phone stayed silent. For the first time, I thought maybe it was over. Silence, then a sudden knock sound, loud and close. Then I heard a knock on my door. I froze. It was soft at first, almost polite. But as I sat there, not moving, it grew louder. Knock sound intensifies. A slow, deliberate pounding, like someone trying to get in. I tiptoed to the door, barely breathing, and looked through the peephole. The hallway was empty. Silence again, stretching uncomfortably long. Just as I turned away, my phone buzzed. Soft buzz, sharp against the silence. Unknown number. I answered, my hands shaking. This time the breathing was louder, closer. And then through the gasps, I heard a voice, a scratchy, broken whisper. It said, "My name." Silence broken only by faint, raspy breathing in the background. The narrator's voice becomes a strained whisper. Narrator. I could barely breathe. I backed away, my mind racing, wondering who, or what, knew my name. Then through the phone, I heard the whisper again. "I'm here for you. Open the door." My heart stopped. I turned slowly toward the door, gripping my phone so hard my knuckles turned white. The knocking had stopped, but something inside me told me that it hadn't gone, that whatever was on the other side was still waiting. I felt an urge to reach for the door, to open it, but some primal instinct held me back. I stumbled backward, dropped my phone, and locked myself in the bathroom. The background sound grows louder, tense, like a low hum or distant roar building up. Narrator. I stayed there, huddled on the cold tile floor, phone buzzing just outside the bathroom door. It kept calling, the same number, the same breathing, now louder and desperate. Then I heard a voice, clearer now, from just outside the bathroom. "Open the door," whispered voice. "Open the door." I screamed and threw myself against the door, waiting for something to burst through, to drag me into the darkness. But nothing happened. After what felt like hours, the sound stopped. My phone was silent. Silence lingers, then the faint sound of a morning bird or distant traffic fades in, hinting at daylight. Narrator. By morning, it was as if nothing had happened. The apartment was quiet again, Normal. I thought I was free, but every night since then, at midnight, my phone rings, and every time I answer, it says the same thing. I'm here for you. Open the door. Long, suspenseful silence. Then a final buzz, followed by the faint sound of raspy breathing. Text on screen, some calls, should never be answered. End.